Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Apple's new AI-based call screening feature, similar to what we've seen on Samsung and Google devices, is changing the way customers answer or ignore calls. Today we are joined by top sales coach Matt Easton, founder of Easton University, to share how sales teams can navigate this shift, which is a very important one. So Matt, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
It's huge, Jim, and I'm so honored to be here. And it's here, and it's not going away.
So let's break it down. How exactly does this AI call screening work?
Yeah. Here's the thing, and people say, oh, it's the same as Android has been. It's really not. We're gonna play a demo here in a second, but here's what I need them to realize. All right. This is a game changer. It's not going away. This is either going to make your life a living HE double hockey sticks if you work in any part of sales, because it's just yet another opportunity for people to go, boom, don't want to talk to that person, or it's going to make your life a lot better. Because what's different about what Apple's doing, where in the past Android has been like, let me know your name and I'll let the caller know you're calling. This is now a bi-directional conversation. What I mean by that, Jim, is here is now an opportunity, if you know what you're doing, and there's only four types of calls you can make in sales, okay? If you know what you're doing in each of these four instances, to use artificial intelligence to actually have a bi-directional. What I mean by that is a two-way conversation with your prospect before they ever even answer. So what I'd like to do is we'll roll a little clip with a demo of the Apple software, and then, by the way, in the clip, the person does a horrible job, okay, which most salespeople will do. And then what I would like to do, Jim, is walk through with the audience the four different types of calls and how they can now use this artificial intelligence-based call screening to actually do a better job of selling, to actually make their life a lot easier. So
Awesome.
If that's cool with you, we can roll the clip first. It's a total disaster on the call, and then I'll walk them through how to fix it in each of the four scenarios.
Okay, sounds good.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available. Thanks, John. Please stay on the line. I'm sorry, this person is not available. If you'd like to leave an additional message, please reply after the tone. Please stay on the line. They said I can't talk right now. You can leave a message after the tone.
So let me walk through what happened there, because there's a little nuance there that a lot of people didn't pick up. What Google and Android has done in the past is record your name. Okay, Apple's taken that one step further and said your reason for calling. Now the nuance, Jim, that I need to make sure the audience picked up on, and save this interview, we rewatched this interview, there was three different opportunities. This is a bi-directional conversation. Apple's going to ask you for your name and the reason for your call. You're going to be able to speak. And then if you notice, it's giving, let's say Jim is the caller, it's giving them an opportunity, do I want to engage you or not? Then it's giving you a second opportunity to record additional information, lobbying it back to Jim or whoever you're calling. And then at the very end, if you're rejected a second time, it gives you a third opportunity to talk. So let me walk through real quick. And I know we're going to drink from a fire hose, guys, but we're not attempting space travel. This is not that hard. I'm going to walk you through all four calls, and I'm going to give you some Matt Easton University vibes on how you can make this better. First off, with any type of call, the complete way to kill yourself with AI call screening is, like John did in the example, just calling to see if you had time for a chat, right? Everybody's going to reject that call. The other thing I don't want you doing in any instance is following up, checking in, calling to see how your day's going, calling to see if you had any questions, okay? I don't coach. That's not Matt Easton in any flavor, all right? So we're going to be purpose-driven. We're going to be skillful with our calls. The four different types of calls are this: a true cold call. You've never reached out to this person before. I'm going to walk you through that. A lead follow-up. Let's say somebody has called your store or your dealership or your business and they wanted some information. You're calling them back to follow up. The other one is, let's say you've had a conversation with that person before and you're trying to get them to do something, or you're trying to set a next step. You want them to place an order. You want them to come to your store or your dealership or your business. You want to have a meeting with them and their spouse, whatever it is. And the last type of call that you want to make in sales, that you need to make in sales, is somebody told you they were going to do something and they haven't done it. They haven't filled out the credit app, or they haven't sent over their payment, or whatever it is. Those are the only 4 calls in all of sales, right? True cold call, lead follow-up, you're trying to get them to do something or set a next step, and you're trying to get them to follow through with something they said they were going to do. All right, so let's unpack all of these really quick in Apple AI. Okay, let's say it's a true cold call. The person's never heard from you. Apple's going to ask you for your name and your reason for calling. I want Matt Easton to pop up on your shoulder, okay? And you're gonna let them know who you are, how you're connected, and then right out of Easton University, you're gonna give them a hook. A hook may sound something like, there's something that every blank is having to deal with, nobody's talking about it, I just wanted to make sure you're aware of it. So if it's a true cold call, and I'm going to use that hook, by the way, we have a ton of different hooks that we use at Easton University. I'm just going to use that one as an example. When Apple says your name and your reason for calling, you're going to say, hey, Jim, Matt Easton over here with Easton Ford. There's something that everybody that has a late model Explorer is having to deal with now. Nobody's talking about it. Wanted to make sure you were aware of. They're going to be exponentially more likely to pick up that call. By the way, don't give me a bad name when they now connect with the call. Have something where maybe their trade is worth a lot more, or transmission services coming up, or if you're a marketing company, every small business is having to deal with their expense with Google ads, right? Have something skillful to talk to them about on the other side. So cold call, you're going to do the hook, right? The example of a hook that I gave you was something every blank's having to deal with, nobody's talking about. They're going to answer the phone. On lead follow-up, so now you've had a conversation with this person, okay? You're not following up, you're not checking in. So if you've already had a conversation with them and you're calling to follow up, which we're not going to use those words, Apple's going to say, what's your name and the reason for your call? You're going to say, Matt Easton with Easton University, calling to see if it makes sense to blank. Calling to see if it makes sense to have you come by the dealership today. Calling to see if it makes sense to place the order on the flowers for the bar mitzvah. Calling to see if it makes sense to have us run your advertising campaign. Again, you're not telling Apple you're following up. You're not telling Apple you're calling to check in, or in their example, calling to see if they had time for a chat. You're asking directly, does it make sense to blank? This is, the AI is going to serve that over, Jim, and then they're going to be able to say yes or no, right? And if they say no, it's now giving you a second opportunity to go, what's a good next step then, right? And giving them an opportunity to call me tomorrow. Perfect, I'll call you 10:30 tomorrow if I haven't heard from you before then. You can start having bi-directional conversations without ever talking to the person, okay? If it's a lead calling that you're just following up, right? They called your dealership, or they filled out a lead request for your advertising company, whatever it is. When Apple asks you your name, don't say, I'm just following up. Don't say, calling to see how I can help you. Say, I wanted to reach out to you personally to make sure my people got you all the information you needed, right? So let's say it's a lead that came into, I'll use the dealership for an example, Friendly Ford, right? Matt Easton with Friendly Ford wanted to reach out to you personally to make sure my people got you all the information you needed. Apple's going to serve that over to the person. They're going to be exponentially more likely to take your call because you're reaching out to them to make sure that your people got them all the information they needed. It's just a much more skillful way to have the call. All right, I covered next step, right? Calling to see if it makes sense to blank. Last one I want to cover, Jim, and I realize they're drinking from a fire hose, but the person didn't fill out the credit app. The person didn't sign the agreement for the flower order. The person didn't create the payment form. You're waiting on them to do something, right? The person didn't show up to
Right.
the dealership. Apple's going to say, what's your name and your reason for the call? You're going to say your name, right? And then for your reason, you're going to say, wanted to make sure you had the blank to blank. So wanted to make sure you had the link to complete your credit application. Wanted to make sure you had the address for the dealership. Wanted to make sure you had the order form to complete the flower order for the bar mitzvah, right? What that's going to do, Apple's going to send that over. The person's going to say yes or no, right? If they say no, I'll send it to you right now. If they say yes, perfect. When can I expect that to arrive here? Again, guys, you're taking this AI, which is designed to just have you say, I'm just following up, I'm just checking in, just wanted to see how you're doing, so that person can block you, and you're turning it into a skillful conversation. Whether that's a cold call, you're doing it with a hook. Whether that's a lead follow-up, you're saying, wanted to reach out to you personally, make sure my people got you all the information. Whether it's a follow-up on getting them to do the next thing, calling to see if it makes sense for you to come by and take a test drive, or whether you're waiting on them to do something. Wanted to make sure you had the link to the credit app so we can complete everything and get your advertising campaign started. Guys, if you understand how to skillfully navigate this artificial intelligence call screening, you're going to find you're going to actually start having conversations without actually having a conversation with the person.
Yeah.
If you guys don't understand this, you're going to get hit with it. I make hundreds of calls a day. I've already been hit with this at least 7 times in the last couple days. If you're not skillful, you're going to get shut down. They're never going to call you back, and you're going to be in the jail that all of the spammy callers, that you're not one of them, right? You watch this network, you're not one of these, but you got to set yourself apart.
Let me ask you, those are great techniques. There's no question about it. And I think that salespeople today need to be trained in this area for these new technologies, because otherwise they're going to be using what they used to use in the past is not going to get them to where they need to be in the future with all of this technology that's out there.
1000%.
Let me ask you this. Is there still a place for cold calling today?
Even more so now, because if you're skillful and you know what you're doing, you're now, this is the single most disruptive place that you can be, is if you're an actual human being, Jim, making a skillful call. Because everybody else is seeing, oh, there's AI, Android's doing it now, Apple's doing it, let's just give up on it altogether.
Right.
And they're being lazy, Jim.
Right.
And they're doing spam email campaigns, they're doing spam text campaigns. You would be shocked when I actually call people. Okay, and people are like, how do you do it? Because every time I call somebody, it turns into a skillful conversation, and they end up signing up for my coaching services, right? When you actually call people and you do it in the right way, your sales go through the roof. It's like they haven't talked to a real human being in months because they haven't.
Right. And they kind of respect you now for making that call rather than just turning it over to a bot that's going to text you, or a phone call that's going to come in that's done by AI or something like that. So yeah, I've had those calls too where I'm like, wow, the guy's on the phone calling me. This is interesting.
Yeah, Jim, 2 people already this morning. One of them was, and I said the wrong color. I don't know why I said pink. It's not my favorite color. But one person was like, all right, if this is really Matt Easton, what's your favorite color? And I'm like, pink. And I'm like, wait a minute, it's not pink. I don't know why I said that. It's orange, right? And it's, people literally are so deprived of actual human conversations.
Yeah.
It'll be like, are you sure you're not a robot?
Yeah.
Are you sure this isn't AI? And you're like, no, it's like, you're right out of like the credit card commercial.
Yeah.
I think I'm not a robot. It's amazing, guys. I want to re-inspire you to start making calls again, because this is not busy work. This is not wasteful work. If you do it skillfully, people are going to appreciate it. You're going to connect with them. You're going to build that relationship, and you're going to get that sale.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, talk to me about a special offer that we talked about before you got on recording today, because I think this is information that is going to be helping. This kind of training is going to be helping salespeople in a very big way.
Yeah. Okay. And again, I'm not a bot. Hi, I am not AI. I am a real person in a goofy orange jacket. Here's my goofy orange phone. Guys, if you're a fan of the network, if you hang out at the network, I love you. Okay, we've probably seen each other, I don't know, 1 or 100 different times. I want to do something special for you. Okay, and I'm going to give you my actual mobile phone number. Now, don't crank call me in the middle of the night. This is my actual phone. All right, my phone number, and you, Jim, feel free to put it up on the screen, 720-660-3202. If you call me or text me and say, hey, Jim said you'll get me the closing mini masterclass. That's a course that we sell on Easton University. It's $300. I will, if you watch this network, if you like Jim, okay, you don't have to like me, but if you like Jim, if you're a fan of the network, I will cover the cost for you, and I will buy the closing mini masterclass for you. Call me or text me. I don't care either one.
Can't go better than that.
Yeah. I'll make a special link just for you. And yes, I am a human. Okay. I'm hoping I only have to do, I don't know, 25, 50, 100 of these. I'll cover the cost if you come through 720-660-3202. I mean it, guys. There's no obligation with this. This is a course on how to close and how to do it skillfully without being pushy, without being manipulative, so you can sleep good at night, you love your job, but at the same time, you're helping your customers move forward.
Right.
That's my mission in life, is to help you guys sell more, but do it in a way that's skillful, do it in a way where you can feel good about it, and do it in a way where your customer doesn't feel like they were pressured into anything.
Wow. Folks, if you don't take them up on this offer, you're crazy, because this is the
They're
kind
going
of...
to call me.
They're
going to call me now at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Know. Matt Easton, as you know, is a world-class trainer, has helped thousands of people take their career up many notches, and I will tell you that we've heard nothing but great reviews from his students there at Easton University. That's why we love having him on the network, because he is the real deal. That is an incredible value right there. Well, we know it's a $300 value for free.
Yeah.
We're showing again all the
Yeah.
information on the screen here. This is something that you're going to want to take advantage of. So take him up on his offer. It's a great one. So Matt Easton, thank you so much, sales coach.
Yeah,
and
thanks for having me, guys, and thanks for watching the show. Sales is easy if we make it easy. Don't get freaked out by things like AI. I'm here for you. The network's here for you. Jim's here for you. Please, we need to just pivot when the market changes, right? And that's what we're all here for you for. We're here to help you guys, because if nothing gets sold, everything falls apart. I love you guys. Whatever I can do for you, you know where to find me.
Great.
Love you guys.
Thanks so much, Matt. We love you too.
See you soon.
All right.